9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
Greetings and salutations, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome to another edition of WWT Live. And have no fear, because your councilman is here. Well, the final councilman, that is. Two belts councilman, whatever it is you tried to call me. I'm trying to get as many names as a lot of my co-hosts on here as well. So let's just keep adding them up. One half of the greatest digital tag teams ever, which I'm sure she will be popping in as well later on today. But we have a lot of news to cover. You know, like we said, this is kind of capping off the tail end of an incredible and fully loaded week of wrestling, from AEW, from Japan to Raw and Netflix to NXT, Dynamite, everything. And it's not stopping even with tonight on Friday Night SmackDown. But of course, the two-belt councilman cannot do this alone. Now, mind you as well, when I'm steering this ship, you're not going to get all of what you normally get, like intros, because I have no idea what those are at, but I'm just going to do the intros myself. Very simple. We're going to start off with our PR princess, our lead AEW analysis specialist, Stone Cold Courtney. That's the only ones I can remember right now. It's been a long day, but ladies and gentlemen,
enjoy a guy that knows how to play the trombone.
Yes, trombone enthusiast. Trombone enthusiast as well. Courtney, how you doing?
I'm doing good. It's Friday. Happy Friday. It's been a very eventful week, from Raw to Dynamite. We're just getting ready for SmackDown tonight, and just what a way to end off the week.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Glad to have you here. And of course, like I said, this is one half of the most electrifying tag team in digital entertainment. We also now have a show together along with the People's Nightmare called Kayfabe Podcast. The sweetest oos. You know her from Honey Pot Predictions. Wrestling with Honey is in the building today. Again, I don't have no intros. I don't know what they are. So
it's the Queen Bee of WWT, Wrestling with Honey with
Honey Pot Predictions.
Buzz, buzz, buzz. It's Friday.
Yes, it is. And are we expecting the return of Honey Night SmackDown? We know he's on vacation. We back now, but are you really back?
Oh, we're official, man. We're official. We kicked it off for the new year last week, crowning the new women's champion, and we're ready to go because I can't wait. I can't wait for tonight. After everything that's transpired the last week, I'm exhausted, but I'm here.
It is up to SmackDown to cap off an incredible week of wrestling. But that's not the only one. Now, I know we have a leader. We have TK. But I like to think of this as the leader, the Captain America of the group. You know what I'm saying? Who leads us, who keeps the ship astray, and will slash you down like MD, whatever numbers he is, like that guy. But you know him as Teflon G. He has the greatest hashtag right now. Hashtag NXT Bonafide is sweeping the nation. Even Joe Hendry knows. Okay, it ain't been put out there, but Joe Hendry knows. Okay, but we know him simply as the Professor.
Go forward.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. Mr. Go Forward.
Oh, man. Councilman and team, how are you guys? Happy Friday to you.
Happy Friday to you. I'm doing great.
Happy Friday.
Yeah. I was not originally scheduled to be here. I was supposed to be at Southern Honor tonight, but we got a whole bunch of snow. And so, yeah, we are snowed in. And growing up in New York, I dealt with snow. And fun fact, I actually got my driver's license in the snow. That's how well we handled snow. It was great. So it's an event when you are in a space that does not know how to handle snow. So yeah, snowed in, but that means I get to hang out with you guys.
Yay!
Yay!
There's pros and cons, you know.
Pros and cons.
It's all about balance.
There it is. There it is.
You're snowed in, get to share your time with us. So you know you're gonna laugh, we're gonna learn, and we're probably gonna talk about a whole bunch of things wrestling. Not we might. That's exactly what we're gonna do because
That's
it's
what
women's wrestling talk.
Sure.
But what I like to do differently than a lot of people, because if you do know your councilman loves to throw things off the rails and go into rabbit holes and pretty much set. I should not say that due to what's currently going on outside, but likes to just take things off of the rails. I'll leave it at that. So we start off with the SmackDown preview. Let's go ahead and help our producer DM Huck go ahead and get this situated. And we got a title match tonight. Shinsuke Nakamura will be defending his U.S. championship against LA Knight. It is the rematch. It'll be happening tonight. Hopefully the main event, and that Bloodline story is taking a backseat because this is going to be an epic match. We're also going to hear from my client, the brand new Women's WWE champion. It's you know what time it is. Do I have to say what time it is? Because we know what
clocks. Set your clocks.
It's Tiffy time. Starting at
you know what time it is.
Yes. And then we also have updated just about maybe an hour and a half ago. We have another defense of a title going on. The new inaugural U.S. Women's Champion Chelsea Green will be defending her title tonight against Bi Chen. Now, this match was rumored to be scheduled at the next Saturday night main event, but we are getting it tonight. And so I want to at least get from y'all some predictions since we got some titles on the line. We're going to start off with Shinsuke and LA Knight. Now, with Shinsuke's new attitude, LA Knight now chasing the title, who's going to walk out after all the dust clears? Courtney, let's start with you.
I actually am going for Shinsuke Nakamura because I want to see his reign go a little bit further since we are in Rumble season, we're in WrestleMania season, and I want to see how these two interact because we saw a little bit of them, but I'm definitely going with Shinsuke retaining the title.
All right. Honey, how about yourself?
Listen, there's a lot of revenge tours on the low happening, and this is one of them. Shinsuke is about to be on a revenge tour with a title reign as well, being the 3-time United States champion. I don't think he's letting this go. As we've always talked about here on Women's Wrestling Talk, there's sometimes can always be money in the chase. And LA Knight, you know, he could chase the US title. We know he could be made for any title at this point. He's a megastar. He is the megastar. And I think that this is just their last their pretty much last face off. You know, you got to get that payback for losing your title in the first place. I like how they're kind of doing these little rematch clauses without announcing them as rematch clauses. I'm kind of feeling it, and it kind of, you know, brings you back. So I like the storytelling that they're doing here with them too. But this is going to be the final chapter, at least for now, until there's going to be another title involved in LA Knight's life, because I definitely see bigger things. Like, he's just going to ride that wave. IC title, you name it, speed champion, anything at this point, heavyweight titles, go for it. So, but Shinsuke will retain.
All right. Professor, does Shinsuke Nakamura... No, let me ask it like this. Does LA Knight need to win this rematch? Your thoughts?
So this is interesting. Does he need to win? He needs to win, but we don't need him to win. LA Knight, for his career ascension, needs to be able to show that he can rebound after a title loss. The problem, though, is that his title reign wasn't all that spectacular. He had the great moment, of course, at SummerSlam. You know, we were really excited about that. It took so long for him to get to a championship. And his championship reign didn't really do what I think a lot of us thought that it would do. So he definitely falls under that category where the chase is better than the reign. And so I think putting him in a space where he's potentially chasing for a world championship is going to be a good thing for him, giving him a good run at the Rumble. But at this point, he's not going to get another championship anytime soon. Not in this era of WWE, where we've got Netflix paying attention. We've got billions of dollars being thrown around. He's good, but he's not ready for another championship. So he needs to win it for him, but we as fans, and I don't think it's good money or good business for LA Knight to become champion again.
I don't disagree. It's going to LA Knight would need to have a Coffee Mania type of situation to happen for that to take place. It would have to be that as of right now.
Yeah. And I think he's peaked, honestly. I think he's peaked.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's definitely fell into the gimmick side of these now.
Yes.
Like back to the if this was Raw, you're definitely second out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Evident. So but we do got a lot to talk about, but I do want to also get y'all predictions on this women's match. Now this is a rivalry that's been going on way past both of these women being in the WWE.
Yeah.
And it's seeming to continue again. And of course, Chelsea's first title defense is going to be against Mi Chen. Now, they had a spectacular match at Saturday night's main event. Have no doubt that this is going to also do that. But I want to ask it this way. Who do you think will win? And will some shenanigans be involved? And honey, since you are the queen at sussing out shenanigans, I want to hear from you first. Who walks out the women's U.S. champion?
I don't think with Chelsea Green. I mean, and honestly, with both, you know what? This is really tough. With both of these women, it's hard to say, like, we didn't come this far just to come this far with either of them. You know what I mean? But Chelsea Green got that title. She's milking being a United States champion, and you know, with the whole trolling bit with the Lady Liberty outfit, and it works for her. And this was something that I think was highly anticipated for her. I think Chelsea will retain. I believe that this is going to be one of the first times where there are no shenanigans being involved, and Chelsea Green is going to prove her worth and prove that she deserves to keep this belt. Mi Chen is going to definitely give her a run for her money because we know what Mi Chen brings to this table, but I might have to go with Chelsea Green. Might have to do that. I feel like no shenanigans. I feel it's going to be fair and square, and she's going to continue to show people why she belongs.
Gotcha. Professor, your thoughts?
This is interesting because we've had, of course, a bunch of title changes happen over on NXT. We had a new women's champion that we crowned Monday night. And there's actually an interesting case for Mi Chen. There's an interesting case for it. And I think the case that can be made is twofold. One, Mi Chen has been an extremely hard worker, done everything that was asked of her. She is the embodiment of what ideally a U.S. champion should be. A hard worker who finally gets their shot. There's also money in the idea of Chelsea Green being unable to retain her championship. There's money in that. There's money in her, being able to say that Nick Aldis had something against her, blame something on why she loses this championship. And this would be a great way to continue the new era of WWE. Now, I know there are those who are like, Chelsea's got a thing, and Chelsea does have a great thing going on.
Yes.
But here's the thing. It could really flip-flop between these two for a little bit before we get to a space where somebody actually holds it for a while. So I'm going to intentionally pull for my fellow Virginia Union graduate, Mi Chen.
Yeah, I also agree. I can see that being a spin that leads her to winning Money in the Bank.
Sure.
And then going for a world title.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that happening. Yeah. Now, okay. Courtney, your thoughts. Who walks out U.S. Women's Champion?
This has actually been a low-key fun rivalry between these two ladies on SmackDown, because you go back to the dumpster match that they had, and then the recent match they had for Saturday night's main events. but I'm actually gonna go with my sister Honey's opposite. I smell a little bit of shenanigans, and you have to be careful because Piper Niven will be at ringside with Chelsea Green. So I would not be shocked if she did try to help her win it. And also, if you saw last week when Chelsea did her like little thing, she was trolling the crowd. She said, "I dedicate it all to myself," and didn't even mention Piper's name. So that was something I caught last week. And also, with these two ladies, B-Fab is waiting in the wings because she also wants a shot at the U.S. title. So those are a lot of elements to think about. But I love Michin. She's definitely worked hard within the last couple months. But I'm going to say Chelsea is going to retain the U.S. title.
Okay. I see where Professor's coming from, and I see that as a valid path to go down. But as you said, I can see the title flip-flopping with one another, and that's why I could potentially see that maybe happen at Saturday Night Main Event, and she wins. But I would have to go with I'm gonna have to go with Chelsea on this one just because of the fact that this is now also a 2 out of 3s match. The dumpster match, the first match, this is the third one, and then both of them.
Wow!
Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think Piper interfered in the dumpster match. Did she?
I'm almost positive she did.
She did. She did.
Yes.
She did. Mm-hmm.
Okay, then we getting shenanigans and Chelsea's winning. Okay. We shall see. Y'all tune in for tonight's SmackDown starting at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Of course, that's 8 on the East Coast. And why watch it alone when you can come join Wrestling with Honey on Honey Night SmackDown? Come and join the community. Watch along with us as we check out SmackDown. Now, one interesting thing was there was someone who has not been present during this time of hot wrestling. And that would be this guy.
That big SOB.
Braun Strowman recently now drafted or portaled to SmackDown. Has not been present, and we have found out why. Some people thought maybe he had another injury or something due to flights, but actually it was due to a case of a bad flu that he caught, and also in a week span has lost 36 pounds.
Wow.
So not sure if that is going to affect him from a physical, look. Maybe it's just a little bit of cut muscle, but he is going to also be out of tonight's SmackDown as well. It has not been said when he shall return, but as he stated in a recent post that he put, 2025, your ass is mine. Hashtag gonna take more than this to keep me down.
Big man.
Yeah, so we just hope speedy recovery for him. Now, someone I really want to get into. Okay, it's a lot of blonde power that's been going on. Liv Morgan dominated as the women's world champion. We have my client making sure everyone's on Tiffy time, but of course, Charlotte Flair, who is a 14-time champion, but let's not forget, there has been another blonde that reigned supreme and was a goddess, if you will.
Yes.
There has been a lot of talk that Alexa Bliss will grace us once again in the WWE, and it is said to be very, very soon. Now, again, no details have been given to her. Also, congrats to her as well, because she will be premiering in a new anime. I'm not going to say the name and get us canceled, but it is on Netflix. Okay, you can go get someone to Google the name yourself. You're not gonna do that to me. Congrats to her, but I also want to get y'all predictions on when this return could be, because some say it could be early as tonight during a time where a certain champion might be celebrating their new victory. Professor, I want to get your thoughts on when you think would be the best time for Alexa Bliss to return, especially with where the WWE is now and where they're headed into WrestleMania.
The answer to that is pretty tricky, because when I saw this news item, I thought to myself, if this were 21, 22, maybe even 2023, it'd be easy to slide her in somewhere, certainly toward the top of the card. The women's division in WWE is stacked everywhere.
Mhm.
And so I'm not sure how much room there is for Alexa Bliss and what she would need to do. I think, honestly, her best bet, as crazy as this might sound, her best bet may be to pick up where she left off. She left off being, under the spell of Uncle Howdy for a bit. It seems to make sense that maybe she should find her way either connected to Wyatt Six or battling Wyatt Six, considering right now there's not really anybody that's challenging Nikki Cross at this point. And I think a battle between those two for who should be in Wyatt Six is something that makes a lot of sense to me for her. I can't see her jumping into any specific title picture right now, given the dominance that we have in the women's division all the way across the board. Can't see her going against Rhea on Raw. Whether it's Lyra or Dakota, could be interesting for the Intercontinental Championship. Certainly the U.S. title picture we've already talked about. The women's title picture with Tiffany Stratton. So I don't see where else she fits in right now that would cause us to stay focused on her other than something on Raw with the Wyatt Six.
Honey, your thoughts?
So I have two different ways that this could possibly go. One would be Professor's point. I don't necessarily think she would have anything to do with the Wyatt Six as far as joining them, because this isn't the Fiend. This isn't Bray Wyatt. This is Uncle Howdy's group and faction, Wyatt Six. He pretty much runs the template of everything that goes on with the Firefly Funhouse and its members and such. And I think Nikki Cross and her could go head to head. Not even for a spot in Wyatt Six, but because of the long-term storytelling between them both. They have had history together. They've held titles together.
Yeah.
It doesn't get any closer than that. And the whole situation where with the Wyatt Six is, the abandonment of your family and things like that. And technically, Alexa Bliss just left Nikki backstage staring into the sky. You know what I mean? And look at where she's found herself now. So I think it would be more so the revenge plot with Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss. I think that is a great way to start. As far as when she would appear, I think it could be Royal Rumble, and then you have Nikki Cross throw her out, or you have someone from NXT throw her out, and maybe she goes down to NXT. I mean, I'm not quite sure. I don't think that would be a bad idea for her, because there's titles there, like the Women's North American title, that are new now, like and the ones you've mentioned before, Professor, on the main title, in the main roster, Intercontinental title, the United States. Like she's already a Grand Slam champion, and she could already start, being one of the ones that can reintroduce herself to this young generation.
Technically, she's not.
Yeah, she's not.
The NXT championship is the only one she hasn't won.
Yeah, she's not won that championship.
The NXT one?
She never won NXT
title.
Oh, well, okay, that's what I mean. So, have her go to NXT, because there had to be at least those or the new titles, even wherever. It wouldn't. She would fit right in, I think, with the younger women's division, with this new women's division in NXT, and with Julia as champion. That's that. I don't listen. But that's one way it could go with Alexa Bliss. One of those two ways, or even. No, well, you know what? No, that's it. Those are the only two things.
And I like the NXT idea. I actually really like the NXT idea.
I would dig that for her a lot,
because there's a lot of new competition for her there.
Yes.
And it's honestly a great way for her to work through any ring rust. Because here's the thing, 2 years is a long time in the wrestling world. And
Mhm.
given all of the new people that have come through, there is likely a population of people who are tuned into pro wrestling right now that have never seen Alexa Bliss.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that. I think she got that's a great place for her to start and get her stuff back, get her chops back. And I think too, a lot of people can go under her wing and stuff. Cause I would love to see her not necessarily have to win the title, but I think just her presence there is great. And I would even say, like, give me the goddess run and pair her up with Fatal Influence.
Ooh.
And give them a chance to get gold across the entire group.
Right, because she could show them
I like
how
that.
to get it done. I mean, because there's not like we'll say what we can say what we want about the horsewomen. Alexa Bliss is the honorable mention and the hidden horsewoman. Because I feel like she oops. My Alexa started talking because I said it loud. Sorry.
That's funny. That's very funny.
That's funny.
Who else is talking to me besides me? I'm talking, right? I'm hearing like two voices come out.
Wait, there's some trolling going on. I have to tell you this. Look at this from the mayor.
Oh, boy.
Mayor, if you can type, you can get on. Like you told us. If you can type, you can get on.
Yep.
You know what? But yeah, I think, and also there's another factor too. What about with the Wyatt 6 bit, right? You want to go off the rails. Alexa Bliss technically could have been the one that opened the floodgates. She did it again. That opened the floodgates for this Wyatt 6 and this version of it. Remember, she was on her witchy BS with as you know, when she was with Lily and she became Lilith and she, you know, burned Randy Orton and the feet, and you know, it was a whole bunch of that stuff. But I think that there's something that could be worked in there for Alexa as far as the Wyatt 6 goes.
I think to Professor's point, I think battling them. I think one thing to be able to sew all of that in for her to be able to lead that behind is to go up against Nikki because of all of those things. I think her being able to have a battle like that between the two of them, and even possibly having a chance for her to fuse both of the characters, like the goddess and that character, into what she progresses to next. So it's like, yo, she's still that, but she does kind of have that slight supernatural, like it gives her that edge a little bit more for people to take her seriously. But I think putting her within the Wyatt 6, it's one of those, like, it kind of holds both of them back. Because then it's like, who's battling to be the face? Is it her? Because she was technically Bray's last underling, and she took him away from, basically destroyed him.
Yeah.
So it's like, how do you kind of work that to where she goes back? But I think the going against the Professor's point works incredibly well for her and gives her more chance of, like how Professor said, to be put on TV, especially with everything that's going on right now. You need a storyline that you can push that will allow her to still be seen in case she isn't able to be in the title picture just yet for either divisions, the mid division, or I don't want to call it mid, but the Intercontinental or US or the world title. Yeah, I didn't want to call it mid title.
Mid card title.
Mid card.
Yeah, not just mid.
Yeah,
But I also, I'm sorry, really quick, because I also want to make one more point. I just had a thought while you were talking, Councilman, but what if it's a situation with Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross where it's like a Batman and Joker never ending? Like she's trying to maybe move on from being the woman that she was, and Nikki Cross is that constant that will always remind her what you did and your betrayal, and like she won't stop coming at her until like you know, final boss Nikki, Wyatt 6 kind of thing, where they hold off on it, but you see it progress, maybe up into maybe a Mania moment, or even a backlash moment, or you know, some like anything big like that. I feel like that would be pretty crazy too, though.
I can see it.
Yeah.
Courtney, real quick, your thoughts on what we just what we just had.
I mean, Professor and Honey kind of pointed out well. It's time to see Little Miss Bliss come back because I'm very happy to see Alexa Bliss Black. I really enjoyed her when she first came on WWE. She was actually one of my favorites that I enjoyed during her tenured run. And also, going back to Professor said, 2 years is very hard, especially considering she just had a baby. She's a new mom. She's training as much as she can. And also, I actually wouldn't mind seeing her in NXT and also kind of reintroducing people on who she is. If you've never seen Alexa Bliss in the ring, if you've never seen any of her matches, if you've never seen the first time she won gold or even Money in the Bank, this is a great opportunity, especially people in the NXT audience have never seen her. This could be a good gate for her to introduce herself. And I know people always said Rumble, but it would be interesting if she made her slight return on Saturday night's main event, because that's the week before the Rumble. And just kind of like, it doesn't have to be much, but just like a snippet or a vignette or something to kind of really give a friendly reminder to the WWE audience on who she is.
I don't know, man. I feel like
I'm going to disagree with that. Only to your point, honey, only because I think someone like her returning, I think we have to consider Saturday night's main event holds a lot of similarities to a Raw on Netflix premiere. You're dealing with a mainstream audience. So if someone hasn't been on camera in 2 years and they're not like Rock or John Cena status, somebody that will draw a mainstream audience, save them for the people who are going to buy the pay-per-view. Right. Or so if you're going to stream in the PLE, though, that's where you're going to get the bang for your buck for an Alexa Bliss return in the Rumble, because we are already conditioned for returns during the Rumble and surprises and things like that. I think it'll go well there. I think
so perfect.
I think even teasing it at Saturday night's main event will take away from what could happen at a Rumble situation. But I do think a Rumble return for her is likely good because, you know, you're not having to go an entire match. You get that incredible moment of, wow, this is a great return. And even if she gets eliminated early, she's back in the conversation. And that's a great way, I think, to introduce her back, even if it is a face-off with Nikki Cross or whomever.
Yeah, she only got really two big options. It's that and then the Black Lady. That's your only two best ones. Let me say safest ones to ensure a dope return. Because just the whole this and it's her, like that whole roof will go off. Or even like you said for the Royal Rumble. So either way, we shall see. But moving forward, we might see another superstar returning to the WWE. And this should,
I know what this is gonna do.
this should really just.
Oh no, we're really
going ear to ear right now.
We're doing this. This is the thing. Oh,
it is rumored.
Yes. I knew that would happen.
Yes. AKA Aleister Black. His contract is coming to an end, and it is closer from rumor to more of truth that he will not be re-signing with AEW and that he may be potentially making his return to the WWE. And speaking of return, we have a return of the head of the ship. The real TK is in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
So we'll start with you, TK. We're just talking about the potential of Aleister Black returning to the WWE. Your thoughts on this, and then what does this do for him, especially returning into the landscape and where WWE is now?
Oh my gosh. So if you remember, Bonner, we had an argument about this like a year and a half. I'm a proponent about husband and wives working in the same company and also including them in the storyline. So I'm for it. I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, because our resident AEW person, Courtney, I feel like they haven't used him. They didn't utilize him properly. And I feel like where WWE is right now, creatively, how they have multiple storylines going, all the stuff, this might be a really good look for him. He actually might be able to express and explore different characters that he may have had in the past prior that he might be able to use now.
All right. Professor, your thoughts on Aleister Black potential return, and where do you see him landing currently?
I firstly think that this would be an amazing opportunity for him to return. You know, timing is everything. And, you know, he fared extremely well in NXT with Triple H at the helm. Mm-hmm. Now that Triple H is running the whole show, just imagine the things that Aleister Black can do on Netflix. That is absolutely where he belongs. Give him the greatest production you can imagine. You know, it's interesting. Right now, the only kind of dark, mysterious characters we have are the Wyatt Six, and they're actually not regulars on our television screens. Mm-hmm. What Aleister Black is able to do is incredible. He's absolutely incredible. He's been incredible. And so I think to get him in this space where Triple H will let him run free, he's going to be a problem. And it certainly seemed like they solidified this Wednesday night on Dynamite with the match that happened with Buddy, almost called him Murphy, Buddy Matthews, where, and again, it was wild to me, Buddy Matthews doesn't come out with any of the House of Black garb on his face, and then kind of accepts this great potential partnership from Will Ospreay. That's a great sign that House of Black really isn't doing anything. So put this man on Raw, put him quickly, because here's the thing. I think Raw is going to need different things that will keep people tuning in at high numbers on Netflix. He is one of those guys to do it. And I know you said February or so, right?
February, March.
Mm-hmm. It would have been
he'll be a free agent by then.
Mm-hmm. I guess I wonder when in February, because if we can pull this off by February 1, bring him into Lucas Oil Stadium.
Also too, if I don't get Aleister Black and Karrion Kross at Mania, we are dropping the ball. Let that be his first feud, them two. And again, like I said, I know y'all don't like the pairing of husband and wife, but imagine him and Zelina pair up. And
not y'all. It is the professor down there that doesn't like the husband, not y'all.
See, you're gonna call me out on this. I think it's not so much that I don't like, but let me explain that. But no. Firstly, I don't ever have to backtrack on anything I say. That's the first thing. Secondly, here's my reason for not necessarily liking them working together on screen. I think it's almost stereotypical. I think it is totally possible for a husband and wife to have their own individual paths while still being husband and wife. I mean, we don't have to keep telling the whole world that Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins are married. Are they not adequate superstars in and of their own right? They are.
I agree. But there also could be storylines that could be explored, a la Naomi, part of the bloodline that it was never.
So let me help you with that. Do you remember when they tried that with
Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans?
And that was horrible.
They hated it.
It's not for everybody. I'm just saying. I'm not saying just because you're husband and wife. Everybody has to do it. But there are some husband and wife duos that we want, like, you can be great together and you can be great separate.
Here's what's problematic with that, though. I think if you have a husband and wife pairing that's always doing something, you're almost insinuating that one needs the other on screen. And that does not bode well in an era of women's empowerment. Naomi does not need her husband to come and fight her battles and stick up for her. She can do that herself. And at this point,
but Naomi a part of the bloodline, though.
Wait. Naomi part of the bloodline is not Naomi and her husband doing things exclusively together.
Should I remind you? What are we doing?
Because you're comparing group. You're comparing.
You're talking about groups versus if you're talking about a husband and wife pairing, we don't. And here's what else is problematic with that. What's the title that the husband and wife are going to battle for? Where do they get to actually sit on top of a division? They don't. And so with that said, you're literally making a statement in an era where we're pushing on Women's Wrestling Talk. We're going to push a narrative that the woman on camera needs her husband to fight her battles.
I never said the woman needs her husband. I said I'm for a husband-wife storyline.
Then tell me.
I'm for a husband-wife storyline. Why not?
Wait. So write it out for me. Tell me a husband and wife situation and write out the storyline for me.
In this particular one, it depends on what you're pushing it as. Because isn't Selena still a manager of LWO?
No, they don't have a manager. She's an active member of the LWO.
But we've seen her as a manager, though. Would you not want to see her go back into that role?
Well, no, she actually wants to be a wrestler. And she's a good wrestler, so I wouldn't want to see her. I would, and this is where I agree with Professor. I definitely don't want to see. I see you, Professor. I don't want to see them like, oh, well, you guys are husband and wife, and you're going to manage your husband. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying in the future, if there's a possible storyline or an angle that makes sense. I'm not saying, oh, y'all are husband and wife. Throw them together and make a story. If it makes sense, I am for it. I'd say acknowledge it. There have been times where Naomi and her husband, it's like we know that they're together and they have, and this is off the record, but not off the record, they have actively wanted to do something together and people are like, no, we don't want to see that.
So again, I ask the question, tell me a story where it makes sense for the husband and wife to be together on screen. Give me one.
Aleister Black and Zelina Vega.
No. I want TK.
Oh.
I want because TK is the one pushing this. So I mean, if you
I didn't say I was pushing this, I was saying you're toying kabutzing the whole situation of husband and wife. I'm not saying every husband and wife has to partner together. No,
I don't need everyone. I just need one. Give me a story where it makes sense. That's all and I'm not even being antagonistic on this. I want to hear one that makes sense.
I'm just joking. What you have something like a husband and wife that makes sense. As far as the current, I can't give you a current, but the husband and wife that made sense was Miz and Maurice. That made sense because she's a manager and she like that makes sense. I wouldn't want to say, oh well, no, you guys are married, you guys can't be together. I'm not saying that can or cannot happen. I'm just saying it has to make sense. So I wasn't pushing that. I'm just saying we've had this discussion before. And Bill and producer, please note this. We've had this discussion on multiple occasions. And you are beating me, just don't want to see it at all. I just want to see, can we get a sprinkle? That's all I'm asking for.
Hey, sit the fuck down, Funaki!
What?
Some tension just need to be broken. That's
Wait,
all.
I have something I want to say.
Honey, you have the floor.
I totally understand both points, and I totally understand what both of you guys are saying. But either way, the answer is still the same. It's never going to happen. Malachi Black or Aleister. I prefer Aleister.
Cousin Ron.
It must have worked, cousin. She saw that comment.
But either way, it's not going to happen because Malachi Black has thoroughly expressed, and both Zelina has as well, thoroughly expressed that they don't want to be involved in storylines together because of that simple fact. They have their own roads and paths, and that's work, and home is home. And I understand that as as one who is married, sacredness of what goes on in the household stays in your household. Mm-hmm. And you want to have respect for what they do outside for work, pays the bills and everything like that, take care of each other and what have you. But I understand it makes sense for something like Miz and Maurice. It makes sense for, Macho and Elizabeth. It made sense for Karrion Kross and Scarlett as well, but it's not for everybody because Seth, even Becky in her book, they hated it. Like she even mentioned that she could not take it. So it's not for everybody. And technically, if you think about it, Boss Lady, I remember a few years back, I think they did give us a little sprinkle of this, but this was when they had just met and they were still in NXT and they were just starting their relationship.
Who are we talking about?
Alistair and Zelina.
Okay.
I think she was managing Andrade and she got him to sign the contract for the title and she slapped him and he was like dissing her because now that we're on the same level, he sits down in front of her, she's short. Like it was a whole thing. So I think we've seen that sprinkle already, and a lot of people do remember it because there's a lot of people that are very, very high on Tommy and Thea as themselves. You know what I mean? Like for them. Married couple, they're definitely faves of mine as well. But to your point, Alistair, please come home. Just please come home.
I think he needs it. Yeah, I think he definitely needs it.
I would give anything to hear that music again and that theme song. Because I remember the one NXT TakeOver Brooklyn I went to, and it was I think it was Drew McIntyre and him for the title. I screamed that song so loud my voice was gone before the night was even over. I love that theme song, but please, Alistair, come home, please.
Yeah, it's like
you belong. We know where you belong, and you do.
A terrible analogy. It's just kind of like
Here we go. First terrible analogy of the new year, guys. Here we go.
Yeah. It's like so you home, right? And the family loses all the money. You go away to college, and they live in an apartment and all this stuff. And then the family comes up on some money, and you come home, and you're like, I'm glad to be home. I have my own room. I can come home as I please. The cleaning lady's doing my laundry. That's like we good looks. So that's why I feel like that's what we doing. We coming back to a good home. Everything is back in order. Like I know where I'm going. I could trust the leadership, all that stuff. So let's go. Is it wild or is it not wild? Sometimes your family don't got the money and you're like, man, it's not what I'm used to. Now they come in correct. It's like, yes, let's go. You get the good meat, not the chitlins.
You and that analogy.
I love this show.
Oh God, that was great.
I love it here. I love it here.
Well, hopefully we will hear more about this and see what will occur with the future of Aleister Black. We do got to keep rolling because we got some other more news to go off of. And speaking of other returns, we're still in the return section of the show. And to mention as well with the Royal Rumble coming up February 1st, we have another potential legend.
Let's just skip this one. Let's skip this one, man. Skip it. Nah. No, man. This isn't even right. No.
The legend, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, has been discussed to return back to the Royal Rumble, but to clear things up. Because we will go to the next story. To clear things up, it has been said that it will not be in the actual Rumble match. It is either to do commentary on the post show or to do a cameo during the Royal Rumble, along with Hacksaw Jim Duggan and some other legends that also been discussing to bring back for the Rumble. So believe me when I tell y'all, the Nature Boy is not stepping into the ring. But
good Lord, because if he did, I only had these words for him.
Hey, sit the fuck down, Funaki.
That's it. Get out of here. No, we don't need you to come back in the ring for nothing. We love you, but please don't.
He said he's not done yet.
Huh? No, he's done. He's done. You saw what she just played. You need to sit down. Sit down.
We're not doing this. We're really not doing this.
What I want to do real quick in discussion of this, so we can jump to the next story, just real quickly. Like we saw The Rock give Ethan Page a major rub on NXT. Who would you like to see Ric Flair give a rub to in a cameo at the Royal Rumble?
Ooh.
Pretty deadly.
I would not mind that. I would definitely. I'm just going to throw it out there just to be quick. I would say LA Knight. I think
that's totally where I was thinking. Actually,
I think
totally what I was thinking.
Or even
Gunther, the ring general, Gunther.
Nothing gonna disrespect that man so bad. Ooh, now Dylan.
But Joe Hendry's gonna be the surprise. They're not gonna announce Joe Hendry.
You act like the Royal Rumble is not 4 hours. We don't know when they're gonna show him.
That boy is coming at 30. He's coming out at 30.
But we also don't know if the men's is the final Rumble. The men's might open.
That's true.
The women's opened last year, didn't it?
And look where the women's division is now. It would only make sense if they're close.
Yeah.
With all the women we got right now, that's the bigger match.
Yeah. This is opening, and then Joe Hendry at 30.
Yep. Austin Theory is another good one. Courtney, who do you think he should give the rub to?
I was thinking about this one because I was going back and forth. I would like to see him interact with Braun Breaker.
That actually would be a decent one.
Wow, good history right there too. With his
family.
I could definitely see it. TK, your thoughts?
I'd see either Tiffany Stratton or Roxanne Perez because I feel like she's definitely going to make a debut in Royal Rumble.
I don't know about Tiffany.
Stratton's too close to Charlotte.
Yeah.
That would feel like we're going down this Lacey Evans road again, and I don't want to go down that.
Oh yeah,
we're not doing that in 2025 either.
God,
keep Flair away from my client. All right, Trish Stratus is lucky she got to have a segment with my client.
She will. Eventually Charlotte will have to. It's bound to happen. Though.
Yeah, if there's any Flair that needs to go, it does need to be Charlotte.
Yeah,
but again, we shall see. Royal Rumble is February 1st, and we already know it is going to be great out there in Indianapolis. So quick news as well. Congratulations to former WWE and MA specialist Hall of Famer Ronda Rousey. She just gave birth to her second child. Her and her husband Travis welcomed in a baby girl, and then based the name off of a Hawaiian name due to his heritage. Once again, do not want to get WWT canceled, so I'm not going to say what the name is because I am going to fuck that up 3 ways to Sundays. Just know it's a very cultural name. And the middle name got like 16 letters in it. So that's why I know. Just stick with what you're good at. But congratulations to Ronda Rousey on having a second child, and many blessings to you both. Now, the best news I've heard all Friday.
Beautiful picture. Where's Dion when you need him?
Wow.
It's time for WrestleMania talk. And as we have just heard, The Rock will not be at WrestleMania.
Is that what he said? That's what he said.
The Rock will not be at WrestleMania, and it is official that The Rock versus Cody will not happen at WrestleMania 41.
I don't believe it.
So all you Cody crybabies, the Great One and the People's Nightmare will not bump or clash heads at WrestleMania. Now, the question I have for each of you, with us now in the 2025, when does this match need to be? Some are saying it could be a great Royal Rumble match. Some say that it should potentially be one of the matches leading into the 2 nights of SummerSlam. But I want to know from y'all, where do you think this should land? Courtney, let me start with you first.
There's a lot of avenues where this match could go. And also for me, that was actually my first pick was SummerSlam because it's the biggest event of the summer and they have to find some matches that have a big office draw on what's going to bring in ticket sales, especially with the fact they're doing 2 nights in New Jersey. So that's also a huge draw as well. So this could be really interesting if it was during the summer and also create a lot of buildup and a lot of avenues to go with it. So that's my prediction on for me to be at SummerSlam.
Honey, where do you think this match should take place?
I understand why it's not happening at Mania because it's not. I mean, well, this is them one-on-one. That's different than what they did last year because last year was a tag team match. But I don't know. SummerSlam, I guess, would make some kind of sense. I don't know why I keep thinking like more down the road, but I'm also thinking about the timeline and Dwayne. Like, I don't want to put no age on anybody, but like we don't know how much more Dwayne has in the tank either. I don't want to go too far off by saying this, but I feel like Survivor Series, War Games type vibe, just I don't know if they really necessarily need a team or be in the War Games thing, if that's what we're going to be doing again this year. A SummerSlam or Survivor Series, I would say, because Mania, I've been hearing a couple of other names for Mr. Cody Rhodes. So babies are just going to have to deal with it and settle for not getting the main event they wanted, kind of like what they did to us, Councilman.
Yes. TK, I know you're always following the money. Where should this land? And then also, too, should it happen this year?
At first when you said that, I was like, it definitely should happen for WrestleMania. But here's the thing. You have a lot of people to please. TKO as far as money, Netflix as far as money. There's a lot of folks that you need to make money for. And I feel like WrestleMania is already, especially being in Vegas, it's already a shoe and it's already going to be making money. Now the key is to bring mainstream media to other PLEs. So this is where like SummerSlam or Survivor Series now comes in, because SummerSlam, I feel like, mainstream media might be like a 50-50, but I feel like for Survivor Series, as far as mainstream media is concerned, they have no idea like what's going on. And I feel like the goal is for TKO is to make sure that every PLE is well known to mainstream media. So it's the like ticket to get, even if you don't watch wrestling all the time. So I think one of those two might be a good bet as far as making sure, because you guys said yourself, NXT came, The Rock named him, said he was coming to NXT, and those tickets went up from what, 125 to 250. I feel the same way with SummerSlam and Survivor Series, where it's more. I think this year wrestling purists may be upset because I feel like a lot of these PLEs are going to be catered to a lot of mainstream media to get the numbers for Netflix consistently up. It's already up that day, but I think consistently up every Monday, every week for the year. I think that's the main goal.
Gotcha. Professor, let me ask you, does this match still need to happen between The Rock and Cody Rhodes? If yes, where should it happen? But if no, please elaborate.
Before you answer, sorry, Professor. Will, you sound like the guy from 60 Minutes, and I really love it. Go on.
I've been watching the morning show on Apple TV. It's got me. I'm trying to
elaborate, Professor. I love it. I love it. Continue. My bad. Sorry.
No. Honestly, I think to a point that Honey made earlier, we don't know how many matches we have left for Rock. And that's not necessarily an age conversation. That is this man is really busy and very spread thin conversation.
Booked and busy.
He's doing movies. He's got his obvious business lines, and he is on the board of directors for TKO. So when this man gets pulled out of the boardroom and out of a Hollywood trailer somewhere, it has to matter. It has to be a match that matters. It has to be a moment that matters. It has to be an event that matters. You cannot pull out your ace in the hole for anything other than the Super Bowl. You can't. So they have other aces that they can pull out for other events. With that said, here comes trouble, because I don't think Cody Rhodes is a big enough star to be opposite The Rock if The Rock is going to have one more match. And here's what I mean by that. Cody is the face of WWE right now because he is the champion and he's been making lots of appearances and things of that nature. But if you I'll give you a perfect example. I had a friend of mine who was watching the Raw on Netflix premiere and they had not watched wrestling in years, but they were coming back to watch this premiere on Netflix. And so I'm kind of watching it with them and I'm like, okay, so what do you think? And they're able to identify The Rock. They're able to identify John Cena. And when they learned about Roman Reigns and things like that, when Cody Rhodes came in the ring, they didn't know his name.
Oh.
They referred to Cody Rhodes as who's the Captain America guy. And that's your WWE champion who ironically The Rock had acknowledged during his promo earlier that night. So with that said, this is not a knock to Cody Rhodes. It is to say he's wrestling royalty to those of us who are wrestling fans who obviously remember what he's done recently with AEW. We remember Dusty, all of the things.
Stardust.
But to the people who have not tuned into wrestling for a while, that's not a name that they gravitate to. And the story for Rock versus Cody would be harder to tell than the story there's honestly only one match we need from The Rock right now. There's only one. There's only one. And I thought we were going to hint at it Monday night. And maybe we still will.
In the back, Professor.
But if we're not getting Rock versus Roman, let Rock continue to do what he's doing on the board. Let Rock, come in every now and again. But that's the only match we need at this point. So to answer your question, and I'm sorry, I took the scenic route on that one, but we don't need Rock versus Cody. We don't. If we were going to get it, we needed this whole year.
WrestleMania, he has to finish his story.
I mean, seriously, if we were gonna do Rock versus Cody, we really needed this entire year to build that, and we didn't do that.
Listen, I don't even want to talk about it,
ma'am. Please silence all cell phones during the movie. Thank you.
Do you want me to make money, or do you not want me to make money?
So you don't know how to make money with a phone on silent?
How about that?
Okay.
That's because she's not paying attention.
Yeah, because I have 5 windows open. What do y'all want from me? I'm trying my best. I'm participating. I'm doing all the things. I got 5 screens open. I have so many tabs. I'm trying to concentrate. I'm trying to argue with Professor at the same time. What do y'all want from me?
Now wait. TK.
I'm trying to make the money.
TK, you should know this. If you're going to argue with me, you got to close at least 4 of those screens.
Wow. Well,
Also, I don't think that this would have happened if she wouldn't have thought that piece of paper was the area code. She would not.
We'd be in a completely different universe right now.
Yep, we'd be in a whole different universe. This is Toronto's fault.
God.
That's what this is. This is Toronto's fault.
Oh my God.
We got blame the 416 in this.
Cousin, yes.
Yes. You know what, Cousin Ron? Pastor Ron? Yes. That's it. That's what we saying. What you want me? I'm trying. There's fire. There is fire in my back door, and I'm still here. What you guys want?
Don't throw that card.
All I heard was
I'm the tribal chief around here. Yeah, you see me, the tribal chief. That's right.
That's all I heard.
Nah, it wasn't that one. It was this.
Ain't no man knock me out. I'm tired of being humble. I'm tired of letting people think they got a chance. The tribal chief is head and shoulders above everybody. This is my show. This is my camera. I run it all.
Goosebumps.
Look, I tell you what. If the goals are successful for March, Professor, when we go and participate in an event for ACW, y'all gonna be sick of me. That's all I'm saying. It's gonna be a good look.
Oh shit.
Well, we gonna definitely know. We gonna find out. But oh, at least it came in. But in more news, something that Professor did mention, the only match that The Rock should have. It's still being in talks. It is being reported that Rock versus Roman is still supposed to happen. It is not said when
it has to happen.
It has to. And it needs to happen this year.
It must. I will have it.
So here was the idea that I had for it. Just throw out, and I am going to get y'all opinions. But if this is Rock's last match,
oh my God,
if he can hold out till 2026, I would like Survivor Series, Rock versus Roman. One, because it is one of their biggest ones and it'll catapult Survivor Series. And two, it is the 40th anniversary of Survivor Series, and that is the place where The Rock debuted.
The Rock started, yes.
It only makes sense to end it there by his cousin. But I want to get everybody's opinion on this, and we have another elected official in here. Once again, I don't think he got an intro no more because of copyright issues with YouTube, so we're going to get that situated. But yeah, he is the captain of the Sea of Blue. He is the mayor of Vice City. He is the admiral over there in Parkerville. Loves cake around here, and it is also a lover of wings like myself.
Says about to pound the streets.
Doesn't count in this intro. The mayor is in the building.
I just want to point out that I thought I had the day off, and some powerful people just appeared at my door. I think they had Maple Leaf logos on their shirt, so I decided to sign in right away.
Oh, wow.
Nonetheless, I'm here. As long as I put my hours in, maybe
you know what?
if
that's the case, you might as well just buy that 416 shirt and call it a day. Like, that's all I gotta say. Buy the 416 shirt.
What the 416 got to do with me?
I'm just saying.
I ain't ducking no room keys around here.
I didn't duck the room keys. Yo, I did not duck the room keys. I thought the man Googled me. He knew where I was from, and he was filling up the 416.
Do you
thought the man Googled you?
Wait, Seth,
that's a hell of a response.
Let me make that even crazier.
Wow.
Let me make that even crazier. You mean to tell me while this man is in the Bahamas and literally on his way to the ring to defend his championship, he took time to Google TK on her took time to Google TK.
Second or third, I can't remember.
Took time to Google her while he's about to defend his championship.
He might have Googled it. We were there for like 3 days. He had time.
But why would he Google? Why? Is that a...
This is, look, I'm just saying,
I don't know about the dating game. Is that a prerequisite? You got to Google your people now?
No, don't do that, man. All I know is I've lived with my uncle and his wife who don't like each other, and she is very like mental manipulative. This is a trap. Because the only thing you could say about this is what makes you think he would Google you, then you sound like an a-hole. There's nothing you can say with her thinking that. It's just one of those like, that was your logic. That's your see. There's nothing we can say to that. There's no defense to this. It's really just okay. If that's what you thought would happen.
Not that the devil needs any advocates, but look, I'm going to play along here. Let's say
first off, we have a whole show to finish.
And he liked what
we have a full finishes, and Honey has to do her SmackDown. So I gotta say,
it's always so convenient when she wants to move the show.
I just want to know if he saw the Googles and liked what he saw. Then what?
They Then we would have a discussion. We'll see what he researched.
He wanted a discussion that night.
Oh no, that's not what we do. I'm a child of God.
Today?
That needs to get clipped.
You let me know.
That line needs to
He
get
was like, swear to dad, TK.
Wow.
Oh, she getting the room tonight. She getting the room.
Oh my God.
What? She getting the room.
Wow. Exactly, Jeffrey. What is happening? What is happening? What is happening, Jeffrey?
Look,
I don't know.
I
don't know, Jeffrey, what's happening. I don't know. I just came. I came to talk some stories. Support my folks. Y'all keep bringing up the 416. Like, I'm just here. I'm just what you all want from me.
We're just trying to push the merch. We're trying to put
what he Googled. That's it. You say he Googled. I wanted to see what he saw.
I'm just paying for it.
I think what's really happening. I think what's really happening is that this was a secret ploy to plug the new merch we got. You know, that 416 shirt.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. You can check out the new website created by Mr. Pharaoh himself, and it slaps.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. But I want to know from y'all, where do you see this match slapping at? Where do we need it now? Do we need it tomorrow? Oh, I'm asking a dumbass question. My bad. Okay.
We needed it yesterday.
Okay. We just acknowledging that it's still up on the table. And I know we only got 15 minutes left, but I actually want to get to this as well. So 2 things about Seth Rollins. One, we had heard some news that Seth Rollins about a year or so ago was going to enter into the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He was going to get his first role, and it was going to be featured in Captain America: Brave New World that is set to release in February as well. Well, we've come to learn that that is actually not going to be true. In the latest interview, Seth Rollins had said that he will no longer be in the Captain America: A Brave New World film. Not to say it was because of anything on his end, but just simply because of rewrites and a new direction they were going. The character that he was portraying, it just did not fit the role along with others. So it actually just landed on the cutting room floor. Now, along with that, and a loss to CM Punk. Questions have been kind of going around, and Big E kind of mentioned this as well about what is next for Seth Rollins. With us being on the road to WrestleMania, also kind of losing to CM Punk, and with so many legends that we have coming back and that are currently in the WWE, where does Seth Rollins get put? Because as of right now, it looks very unclear as to if Rollins will be on the card. And if so, in what capacity? Is it going to be a world title, or will it just be in a rivalry? But I want to know y'all thoughts first on what is next for Seth Rollins, and does it include WrestleMania? Mayor, since you just jumped in, I want to get your thoughts first.
I don't think there's any way that Seth will not be at Mania. But I would hope that the recent string, if you want to call it recent strings of losses or lack of success not being at the top of the card, helps get us to like some downward spiral where he begins to question if he kind of still has it, maybe leans into a little bit more of that Monday Night Messiah personality, kind of the arrogant Seth Rollins where he doesn't care if he's being booed, he doesn't care if he's being cheered, he's just trying to, reclaim what he feels is his, or reclaim victory. So from that standpoint, I wouldn't be surprised. Since we're early in the journey, we are confirming The Rock's not going to wrestle. I wouldn't be surprised to see Seth and Cody run it back at Mania. If Seth wants his lick back from those 3 losses, I think we can see that there, or see it at the biggest show of them all. But I think that's what Seth needs. Not to mention that I'm on record. He came back way too early. I think he should have come back at the Rumble, and that would have been enough time away for us to give him something to do of importance. But now we're here and we're still trying to scramble. I think that Punk lost clean. While it helps Punk, it did so much damage to him in the busiest season of the year.
I agree. Professor, your thoughts on this? What is next for Seth Rollins, and how does he get to WrestleMania?
I think his path to WrestleMania involves this potential loose faction that nobody seems to be talking about, but that seems to have the most in common. And that is Drew McIntyre and Kevin Owens.
Ooh.
As these three formulate a fight against all things bloodline that culminates with night 1 or night 2, I think either one would work, of Seth versus Roman. We've never gotten that at WrestleMania. The closest we got was the tag match last year at 40. But I mean, how do you go from main eventing night 1 and defending the world title on night 2 to anything other than the main event? For Seth Rollins, he needs that desperately in his career at this point. He's always felt like the second fiddle. He's always felt like the Macho Man to Hogan. He's never felt like that guy. He's got to be against Roman. That's really the only match for him that really matters. I think he has moved past a world championship at this point. He doesn't need to be in there against Gunther or Cody. That's not the lick back he needs. The lick back he needs is him versus Roman at WrestleMania. Pick a night 1 or night 2, probably night 2, because night 1 you do Roman and Rock, and you call this thing a day.
And give it a crazy stipulation.
Yeah,
a Hell in the Cell of some sort, the end of the real story that we've really been waiting for.
I take a regular match. I would take
that too. Yeah, because we've never seen it at Mania before.
Yeah,
so.
or just like no DQ, so you don't end it. But we know the refs get kind of lenient with these major matches, so I would take a regular match. But Professor, I loved how you perfectly described Mick Foley Jr., not the guy, Macho Man, from the main event at WrestleMania to not being in the main event of WrestleMania. You perfectly described Sami Zayn, and I just loved how you described him to every team. I appreciate that so much. Honey,
hilarious.
Do you think it is the right time to punch the Seth and Roman card at WrestleMania?
I think it's still too soon, but I think we're almost there. We're getting to that point of the story where Roman is pretty much cutting all corners. Even Seth Rollins, there's a lot of long-term storytelling being told, especially after the way last year's WrestleMania ended and how it ended, because technically Seth Rollins is the reason why the story got finished for Cody, and then pretty much restarted a new one for Roman, and now this new hostile takeover with Timu Bloodline and everything like that. But now Roman has the Ulafala, he has Paul Heyman. I think there's just some other things that need to happen first before we get to Roman and Seth. Seth and Roman, that's the final. That's Batman and Joker. Like, that's, you know what I mean? That's a bigger finale. And it's crazy to say that that's actually a bigger finale than Rock versus Roman. Seth and Roman against each other, main eventing WrestleMania, no titles involved, man-to-man, former brothers. I think the story writes itself, but it is too soon for it. Not just yet.
All right. TK, you follow the money. How do we get Seth to WrestleMania, and what's the money match?
I'm a child of God. Wow.
The fact is just so clear, and so
oh my goodness. Wow, y'all. First off, Dylan, what are we doing? That wasn't the play. How do we get Seth? I don't know, because I feel like where WrestleMania is right now, even though it's 2 nights. I'm posing another question, but also a thought. Even though it's 2 nights, given the fact that for Netflix we had 4 matches in 3 hours or something like that, I feel like with WrestleMania it might be along those lines where it's more entertainment than matches. And if that's the case, I don't know if Seth would really get a match, because I feel like this WrestleMania, especially with it being in Vegas, I think it's going to be more big names that mainstream media is like feeling. Obviously, we'll keep the Captain America guy, but I don't know if he's going to be in play for this.
We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. Just because I know we only got like about 8 more minutes because we got to get Honey ready for her watch along. And Honey, just like life, as much as you get the fruits of having Aleister Black return, it also has to punch you in the face, as life will always do, because there are rumors that this may be your world heavyweight title match. Gunther versus Logan Paul at WrestleMania has been the discussion. And just briefly, thoughts on this potential championship match. Courtney, let's start with you.
Oh,
like
God.
Christmas come early. I thought Christmas just left us. I feel like
Christmas
again.
Christmas came too early. I can't disrespect Logan Paul, but I'm just trying to figure out the backstory on all this because I'm looking at this match and I'm just thinking like,
It's easy. It's easy. The backstory is Logan Paul's coming back and he's going to get his ass beat. That's the story.
I mean, he's everything Gunther would hate about his opponent. He doesn't think he's a real wrestler. You're a disrespect to the ring. All you do is fly around everywhere. Like, there's so much storyline already there for Gunther to where it's laid out.
Yeah, I could see it. And I think people would love to see Logan Paul get a beating at WrestleMania in Vegas.
Professor, let me ask you this. Does this make sense for Gunther in the case of defending his title against Logan Paul?
On an episode of Monday Night Raw, yes. Maybe even at a PLE like Rumble or Elimination Chamber, yes. At WrestleMania, absolutely not. WrestleMania is now, granted, I know some people will say, well, he's a mainstream star. Cool. There are matches to give him, but not against the world champion. You know, it's the age-old debate that has happened all across the space. You know, people put these superstars and celebrities in these world title matches thinking that they are drawing attention to the sport when in essence you're diminishing your championship. Think about this. Would the NBA ever bring in a celebrity team to battle whoever the champions are in the series for the championship? No. You know, there would never be a celebrity football team that battles the top team in the Super Bowl. No, they in fact have a celebrity game during that particular weekend to accommodate that. So I think putting your world championship up against someone who is not a regular in-ring competitor at your biggest event of the year could be problematic.
Well, maybe not the event of the year, but I will put in a plug for a possibility, if not Mania. How about this, Professor? How about Crown Jewel? Because you know they love Logan
I'm okay
Paul
with that.
and Gunther.
I'm okay with almost any other PLE besides WrestleMania.
Gotcha.
Because WrestleMania is it's your Super Bowl. It is your main event. It is the event that you're pulling people into to put Logan Paul for a world championship that he likely would not have earned. He's not going to win the Royal Rumble. If he did, that'd be nuts.
Is it? That's the big thing, because after you just said that, I was like, yo, I really see them letting him sneak.
He might actually sneak out of the Elimination Chamber to get a shot at the world title.
That's better. No, that's better.
That makes much more sense than the Royal Rumble.
That makes more sense. No, you're right.
Yeah. Or walk away with a Money in the Bank briefcase.
Well, no, I like the
I kind of don't want that for him.
No, because then it keeps him away. It keeps him away off the main.
Okay.
TK, quickly.
Anything to keep him away.
You're the money. Is this bags of money or is this goose eggs?
I'm not the money. I'm just a humble Canadian trying to make it in America. That's all I'm trying to do. I don't know if this is the money. I don't know if this is play. I don't know if this is where the money is, because there's two money lines. And I think I've been like, that's the kind of the thread line for a lot of things I've been saying this particular show. It's like who you're appeasing to, and how you're gonna get the return on investment. So, for instance, when we look at Netflix and how much money they invested in just the installations of their first episode, and probably how much money they're investing throughout the year, will they get the return on investment? And can they see? Is everybody on that? I can't give that away. But is everybody on that team like wrestling fans, or are they more like, we need to make sure that this company gets a return on investment? So those are the type of things. So I don't know if it's. I think it's kind of goose eggs with that.
I'm just happy to know that Logan Paul's gonna get whacked out with those chops, and I just can't wait to see my ring general just go completely ham when that moment comes. I'll just be very happy.
Gunther, the ring general, Gunther.
Mayor, your thoughts on this potential match?
First and foremost, I'm just a humble American that won't implore you to Google me.
How about that? How about humility and Google me in this? Yeah, praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord! That's what we're doing. Wow!
But
all right.
I'm conflicted because while I can't see how we get there, I can't deny that it would be a great match just because of what Logan Paul offers in ring. The problem is, it's like on both sides of the coin, like as a fan, who am I supposed to cheer for? Because Gunther's supposed to be a heel. Nobody likes Logan. So it's just one of those things that you should not put at Mania. So I'm with Professor on this. Like almost, I can't say almost any other PLE. I would say one of the Saudi shows or Money in the Bank. It's probably a perfect spot for that. The lottery ticket type of thing, the big spectacle where you want to draw on your social media viewers and things like that. But it would be an amazing match. Is it deserved? Probably not. But you want to build up other challengers, and Logan wants to be full time, so why not?
Well, we shall see if Logan Paul and his prime placement will get a placement over at WrestleMania 41.
Ooh, that was a good one.
Thank you very much. We got a few more quick stories to get out of here. I just, again, I'll be wanting to be fair, not make it all about WWE, but at least wanted to say shout out to Maria Kanellis. She is getting a contract extension with AEW. Still not sure if it's going to be a full secured AEW star or where she might land. But as of right now, a lot of people weren't wondering about her contract. Right now, it is still extended, but we will know more, and you will know more as we find out. Also, too, shout out to the KOPW Championship over there in New Japan Pro Wrestling, as it just saw its final days as the company is retiring this championship. Now, for those who may not know wrestling as much, the KOPW Championship was founded by Okada. Again, we're not going to get this show canceled. And the only way this belt could be defended is by a gimmick-style match. New Japan Pro Wrestling has now put this to bed, but shout out to those folks who were and have been a champion. And, at least we see a place that cares about these titles, unlike a certain brand I know. Speaking of that brand,
wow.
That was
Thunder Rosa had high praise for the returning Kenny Omega, letting us know as he has returned back to the AEW brand that he is considered to be the essence and life force of AEW, and his presence not there was definitely an impact on the locker room in the back. And I just want to get from y'all, now that we also have been hearing that AEW's All In Texas may have its first match, and we are running back Omega versus Okada for the Continental Championship. Now, I just want to know from each one of y'all, did AEW get this right? And is this a great start to this PLE with everything that we've talked about so far with them being in Dallas? Now, of course, I'm going to start with our resident advisor for AEW, Ms. Stone Cold Courtney. Your thoughts on this?
when I found out on Watch Along, if you saw my Watch Along for World's End, I was very surprised to see Kenny back, and also seeing him this past week on Dynamite. Also, if you're not familiar or have not watched New Japan or AEW, they do have a long history with each other. And I understand that they are planning All in Texas now because they do want to have a match that is going to draw, especially since this is one of their biggest pay-per-views of the summer. What match is going to draw? And also, two things they need to work on: long-term storytelling, and consistency. Those are the two things that they really need to work on, because if this rivalry is going to be one of your big matches for All In, it has to be executed properly and not be inconsistent. Just saying like, oh, they're going to rival for this, and then you're going to forget about it for a couple months. So this is going to be something that they're going to have to learn. And also on top of that, with the new deal with Max, this could also really support on promoting and also really giving a draw on why people should watch that match. And especially if you've never watched wrestling before, and if you have Max, this is something that can really draw and also cross-brand opportunities within not just Max, but also in the Warner Brothers Discovery umbrella. And there's so many opportunities that they could go with. So long-term storytelling and consistency is going to be on how Kenny Omega and Okada is going to draw. And especially there's a lot more questions and answers, because specifically I'm trying to think what Kenny's role is, because I know he's facing off with Don Callis. Not sure what's going to happen with Moxley, but there's going to be a lot of wiggle room in the coming months between now and July.
Gotcha. Honey, knowing that this match has been announced, does this have you interested, at least, or has sparked the interest in you checking out All in Texas? You are muted as well.
I said, yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm definitely interested because I know there's a lot of rich history between these two. Like you said, they're basically just running it back. I think this is definitely a good start for Kenny Omega. Obviously, this is someone that he's been very familiar in the ring with, and I think that has a lot to do with this being his first match as well. It's kind of like those things that I feel like maybe back, how they talk about your in-ring chemistry with a really decent opponent or a very good opponent, a very competitive opponent, really makes the match as well, because you want to take care of your dancing partner. And I think Okada is definitely somebody that's going to make Kenny look good. Kenny's going to do the same. I'm just happy to see him back in the ring.
All right. Mayor, your thoughts on this being the first match announced? Was this the smart way to go to get people interested, or could there have been another match that needed to be announced first for this PLE?
I feel like there's a lot of other matches that you can spark people's interest in for the show. But I mean, this is kind of like an old reliable, given the history. Does it pique my interest for All In just announcing this? Not so much. But I think seeing Kenny back in ring over the next several weeks, months will be what builds to that match. I think they're throwing him to the wolves right away. He has Brian Cage next week. And I think just seeing him get back to Kenny over the next few months is what's going to sell that match more than anything.
All right. Professor, now we've seen in movies where reboots just shouldn't happen, but for some reason the cash grab is just too much, and we just decide we're going to make another Batman, and it ain't that great, but we did it anyway. Same with Spider-Man. I want to ask you, as for, huh?
Wait, you didn't like the last Batman?
Huh?
Never mind.
I'm talking about Christian Bale's Batman. Christian Bale is by far the worst Batman out of all Batmans. And also Spider-Man No Way Home is ass. And I can have a whole conversation about that. But this is women's wrestling talk. We can talk about that after we're done. But I want to know from you, Professor, is this rivalry more like a reboot as a cash grab, or does this feel like something that could become fresh for AEW leading into All in Texas?
I think really they're going to have to do a couple of things. One, they're going to have to tell this story well. Because again, you've got a whole list of people who have never seen a Kenny Omega Kazuchika Okada match. This match itself was the match that fully pulled me into New Japan Pro Wrestling. And it brought a lot of people into New Japan Pro Wrestling just a few years ago. I think they have enough time to make this right. The key is you cannot have the current version of Okada and expect the New Japan version that we saw. They're going to have to allow Okada to revert to that version of himself. And so for that to happen, that means he's going to have to be the world champion. Honestly, if that match is happening for the Continental Championship, it doesn't matter. It's either the world title match in the main event or nothing at all.
I 100% agree with that. TK, real quick, yay or nay? Excited for this match? You are also mute.
She's muted.
Oh, hold on.
She did say I think she said she is the bar.
She said the bar. She's the bar.
Yes, she is the bar. That's what she was.
That's also on brand.
Wow. That's what we're doing on a Friday. All right, Professor.
Did you not say that the wrestler who was defending his championship in the middle of that said, hold on, I Googled her all weekend. Let me, that's what you said. That's what you said. Did you not say you were the show and tell? That's what you said.
It must be the snow. It's all right, Professor. We'll talk on Monday. Yeah.
Gook, see this.
Wow.
TK. You got to Google TK.
That's what you got to do. And you can get the peaks and valleys. That's what she has right there. That's what it said. That's what it said.
We got to get out here.
I just hope that this no way, shape, or form affects me getting my sample of the Port of Spain. I am thankful for everything that was given to me. I just want my Port of Spain.
Oh my God. You mute, honey. You mute.
I was about to say this, but y'all killed it. Never mind. I don't even know.
Yeah, we got to get out of here, man. We got 20 minutes before SmackDown starts, and we got to let Honey grab something to eat before she gets on this 3-hour watch along. So make sure that y'all join her. But before we get out of here, we want to make sure you know how to follow and support these people. So, Honey, we know you got to get out of here first, so we're going to let you go ahead and go first. Tell them where they can follow and support you.
I will just say, full disclosure, boss lady, this might be a little tardy for the watch party. Just say, because I gotta make the dinner real quick. So just give me some time, but I will be on. And yes, you guys already heard the councilman. You guys know it's Friday. Tune in with me shortly in the next 30-ish minutes for our Honey Night SmackDown watch along on Women's Wrestling Talk. Follow me at All Things Wrestling with Honey. TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, as well as the Wrestling with Honey podcast on YouTube. Yeah. And the Kayfabe podcast coming real soon with my tag team partner here.
Oh, he's still your tag team partner?
Former tag team partner?
No, I never said that. I
remember that.
I said you were stealing my tag team partner. I didn't say nothing about Will. I said you said you.
I don't know about no theft.
All right. For now.
Courtney. All I know is I'm also a child of God.
Like this will never be a situation like you and Jacob had, where one was the Vice City, the former mayor of Vice City, then the other was the new mayor of Vice City. This will never be that kind of situation. Me and Councilman, we're right here at all times. Period.
Tomato. Okay.
How can they follow and support you?
I'm just
Hey, sit the fuck down, Funaki.
That's all I gotta say.
That's too hilarious. But you can always find me here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday here on WWT Live. You know, every Wednesday. You can take a trip down to Storm Zero Central. You can take a trip down to Cassidyville because I'll be doing watch-alongs every Wednesday on Dynamite.
Okay, Cassidyville.
Yes, you can always do that. Before I forget, please make sure to follow Bell to Bell next Saturday first show of 2025, Belle of the Brawl. I will be attending that event, and also I'll be doing commentary. And
It's confirmed?
Excited. Yes.
Yes.
It's been confirmed.
Congratulations.
Yes.
That's
my
awesome.
first commentating of 2025.
Yes.
So I'm very
Good for
excited
you.
for this one, especially with it being all women's independent pro wrestling. It's
Love
super
that.
exciting. You can also follow me on @CourtneyNJ11 on Twitter and Instagram, where I do have a lot of things happening in the works.
Yes, indeed. Oh, but before we do finish, I wanted to make sure that y'all also know that Ashe Wrestling TV is active. First episode is out and it is available on YouTube. Be sure to go and check that out. You're going to be able to hear the great voices of Bonafide. I believe, TK, you've done some stuff on there too, correct? I was incorrect on that. You will only get to hear NXT Bonafide over there at Ashe Wrestling, but make sure you check out episode 1. It is something you do not want to miss. And I believe, Professor, just to clear it up, they're releasing every Thursday.
Every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, on the Ashe Wrestling YouTube channel.
That comment's out of pocket.
That comment is way. Mayor, how can they follow it?
I can assure you there is only one mayor of Vice City. That's what I can assure you.
I can prove to you that there was. I can prove it though.
Find the clip.
I will. I have it. I got it in my back pocket.
It's been scrubbed. But on a serious note, I will be found today. You can find me on the socials at says on Twitter, CEWD_SAYS. On the gram, it says the answer. I am reposting all resources for the fires being fought here in LA and California. Make sure you see those and share if you can. The signal boost only helps those who are displaced. I will also be posting a GoFundMe. I recently found out my cousin had her home displaced due to the fires. So anything helps. I will be reposting that GoFundMe soon. So keep sharing, keep signal boosting. It can only help just spreading the word for these people that have had such a tragic thing happen.
Yeah, that's all.
Yes, indeed.
Prayers for everybody in LA.
Yes. You can also find me at How to Make Money with Your Phone on Silent for Dummies. That's
what is going on here? What is going on here?
Wait, what? No,
Wow.
I'm just giving out a resource.
I'm sipping my water. Go on. Continue.
I can't give out a resource that worked well for me. And it could work well for you. Wow. That's what we do. Hey, I'm sorry. I'm not the head of my table in my family. So I guess I don't know how that worked over there.
All I heard.
I didn't know. I was just giving my information. You said you know how to make money while your phone on silent, and my phone never went off, and business is still going. I'm just
TK. All I heard TK would say. All I heard was me.
You raggedy bitch. You raggedy bitch.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh yeah. But also too, on that note with LA, if you are out here, even if you are not in the areas that are drastically affected, please, I cannot implore you, please put on a mask. Okay. Even if you feel like you don't believe in it, if you think it doesn't help, believe me when I tell you, being in this type of air quality is not great right now. Even if you're walking a dog, try to be very brief about it. Anything over air quality over 100 is already bad for you to be outside. Right now, it's sitting at 178. So please wear a mask. Be safe out here. And as always, like they said, please pray for everyone out here in LA that is going through this right now. Now, we have left it to the final boss of WWT to let us know where they can follow and support her. And hopefully she doesn't take any of this out unsaid and not get him his body butter.
Did Professor go?
I don't know.
No, Professor didn't go. No, I don't think Professor went.
Oh, like as far as outros go.
Yeah.
You can find me at Bonafide across all of the social spaces. And again, some great things happening. Ashe Wrestling TV, the premiere was last night. It was phenomenal. Just take my word for it. Go back, watch it now. youtube.com/Ashe Wrestling. And you can check out brand new episodes every Thursday. It's a live watch party. It is amazing. 8 p.m. Eastern. Shout out to Darius Lockhart. His mind is unbelievable. Trust me. Go back, watch this. It is amazing. You will get to see me on there, so definitely check it out. Also, great things happening over at All Caribbean Wrestling. You will find us actually right now on TMZ. Mark Henry, JB Cool, and a big interview there on TMZ, so check that out. Great things happening with All Caribbean Wrestling, and this is going to be a big, big year, so make sure you guys are locked in to all that's going on. And again, follow me at Bonnerfied.
And NXT Bonnerfied.
All day.
I think everybody went. It's right. It's my turn. You got that outro queued up, Will? All right, I'll make this quick. Follow us on everything. Check out the website. Subscribe to the website, because if you subscribe, there's some things coming your way. So please do that. If you all, I'm gauging the audience. If you all want a TNA post show and an Ashe post show, please hit us up in the comments, because you might just get it. So we're looking at that stuff right now. Other than that, I guess you can Google me. On that note, you can follow me on everything at TK Trinidad. You can follow me. You can follow Women's Wrestling Talk on everything at Women's Wrestling Talk, www.talkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling.
This man is so fine. When I tell you this man is scrump-dilly-icious, he make me want to. Oh God.
Google me. Look out for that new shirt. I get Googled coming out on the WWT TalkPod.com merch store. Thank you, everybody, for checking out another episode.
I need the humble Canadian shirt as well.
Humble Canadian shirt. Yeah. Well, also
thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WW Talk Pod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms, like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www.talkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.